As Chase McCray stares at the end of his fishing line, he appears to be struggling to take in what he's looking at. You see, while the experienced angler has managed to snag himself a substantial catfish, he's also dragged a deadly creature out of the depths, and it seems that the cantankerous beast in question won't be letting go without a fight either. Fishing appears to remain a firm fixture in McCray's life. In July 2019, then, he set off to follow his passion at Langham Creek in Texas's Harris County, the very area where he had also happened to go to high school. And while McCray may well be an avid angler, even he may not have predicted what happened next. You see, on this occasion, the Texan reeled in much more than he was bargaining for. Bayous are common features throughout America's Gulf Coast, particularly on the delta of the Mississippi River. This means that both Louisiana and McCray's home state of Texas are well known for the bodies of water. By definition, a bayou can be an area of marshland or a slow-flowing river or stream, although the term also describes a creek with a current that reverses once a day. And a bayou's contents are higher in salt levels than freshwater, which in turn creates an ideal environment for some fish and plankton species. Naturally then, certain bayous are rich in marine life, and while species living in bayou water will vary from region to region, they may include catfish, shrimp, and shellfish. That said, they may also contain crocodiles, alligators, snakes, and leeches, meaning anglers need to have their wits about them when fishing there. Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story. So while McCray's native Harris County boasts the highest population in Texas, there are nevertheless opportunities for fishing enthusiasts like him to get close to nature. And in July 2019, the angler duly chose to escape to a bayou in the northwest of the county. During the trip, however, he got a nasty surprise when he reeled in his catch. And what McCray found on the end of his line was so bizarre and unsettling that it almost beggared belief. The potentially lethal creature is captured on camera, too, and the resulting footage, which eventually appeared on McCray's Twitter feed, reveals the fisherman's incredulous response to the gruesome scene playing out in front of his eyes. Initially, though, McCray's video reveals the serene setting of his fishing trip. He is positioned in some long grass at the edge of the bayou, while a folding chair, which no doubt provided some comfort while he patiently waited for a tug on his line, can also be seen in the background. Yet the idyllic location acts in stark contrast to the horror unfolding on screen. You see, while it's clear that the angler has hooked himself to a pretty substantial catfish, there's no cause for celebration on his part just yet. Why? Well, as McCray's footage shows, the fish had already been claimed by something much more fearsome than the fisherman's line. Yes, as McCray had pulled the catfish from the depths of the bayou, it quickly became obvious that it was not alone. And in the video that the fisherman subsequently filmed, the beast that has claimed the catch is revealed. Alarmingly, a huge snake has wrapped itself around the fish and already sunk its deadly fangs into its flesh. Now that McCray has removed the creatures from the water, the catfish flaps its gills as it struggles to breathe, yet the snake refuses to loosen its grip on the ill-fated animal. Indeed, despite being exposed in such a fashion by the angler, the reptile is seemingly undeterred in its endeavor to claim his victim. So the snake simply dangles off the end of McCray's line, holding the catfish firmly between its fangs as the two creatures spin together on the line. Needless to say, it's a strange sight to behold, and the angler leaves the viewer to look upon it for some time too. And in July 2019, McCray chose to share the footage on Twitter. It seems, too, that he took the unnerving incident in good humor, as alongside the incredible clip he wrote, "The things I go through with bayou fishing." It's perhaps no surprise, either, that the bizarre video took off online, attracting nearly 55,000 retweets and more than 215,000 likes within a matter of weeks. The disturbing clip also provoked a lot of conversation on Twitter, with many of those who had watched the video seeming pretty creeped out by the prospect of reeling in a snake like McCray had. In a particularly dramatic comment, one Twitter user expressed their intense mistrust of serpents. Making liberal use of the caps key in order to labor their point, they wrote, Bro, see, this is why I hate snakes. They on the ground, they in the water, and they be in the sky in them airplanes. No one is safe. Echoing similarly worried thoughts, another tweeter recommended that McCray seek out a safer spot from which to fish next time. They advised, think about the snakes that you can't see in the high grass behind your chair. I think I'd fish from the bridge. Another user agreed, although they recommended instead that the angler cast out from a helicopter next time, just to be safe. Not everyone who watched McCray's video was left feeling panic-stricken by what had gone down with the fish and the snake, however. In fact, just like the angler, some saw the funny side of what could have been a highly dangerous situation. And there were plenty of comments poking fun at his uncomfortable catch, too. One such tweet brought McCray's fishing technique into question. It read, "Did you use the snake as bait to catch the fish, or the other way around?" Meanwhile, another commenter joked that there had been some kind of showdown between the angler and his reptilian rival. They wrote, "Y'all looking at each other trying to figure out who gon' get the fish." But while some people could empathize with the snake for having its meal rudely interrupted, there was also some sympathy for the catfish. After all, it managed to get caught out twice in one go. One Twitter user wrote, for instance, "It's a bad day for that fish, definitely a lose-lose." Then, after McCray's video of the snake and catfish had gone viral, the angler's story made it into the local media. And in an interview with ABC 13 Eyewitness News, he revealed what happened after the camera had stopped rolling. McCray explained, "I took the knife to get the snake off the fish and released the fish. The snake had a few wounds from the knife, but I released it as well." Back on Twitter, McCray also confirmed that he had indeed released the catfish before it came to any further harm. In one tweet, he simply revealed, "The fish made it out alive." Yet the account that the angler gave on Twitter regarding the snake's fate differed somewhat from what he had told ABC 13 Eyewitness News. There, he seemed to suggest that the serpent had, in fact, come to harm. This species of snake is native to North America and can be found as far north as Ontario and Quebec, and as far south as Florida and Texas, where McCray caught this. They prey on all kinds of marine life too, including fish and frogs, but also hunt small mammals and birds. It's worth noting, though, that water snakes also have a number of predators themselves, with raccoons, birds, foxes, and possums among them. And from McCray's video, it was clear to see that the snake he'd snagged had dark bands and blotches running the length of its body. Yet while these kinds of markings could have identified it as a harmless water snake, they are also associated with more dangerous creatures such as copperheads or cottonmouths, accounting perhaps for the angler's overzealous approach to the serpent. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.